Aloha! And we're on, live again, 2 days in a row. There we go.
So before we go any further, first of all, if you're here for the first time, I'm Rev Rita.
Reverend Patrick.
Yes, and we want to first express our gratitude for yesterday. If you don't know what happened yesterday, we had an amazing 6-hour telethon fundraiser, and it was quite a journey from it didn't start yesterday. It started several months ago when we started our planning, but we just want to acknowledge all the people that assisted us during the telethon and before. If they would just stand so that we can say a big thank you to them, because
oh my gosh.
Yay.
Yes.
And all
Jeremy and Amy were
and
here.
Leslie back there,
right.
and just there's more. And when we get our thank yous out, we'll be doing that soon.
Yeah.
But also to all the people who donated, thank you so much. Thank you to the people online. We don't have a total yet, but right now we're at about 21,000, which is like really pretty. It was great. So we really required that money to lift the center up during this. Still working through the pandemic, so it's very, 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 very helpful and helping. Yes,
and we're still taking
donations, and we put up the YouTube of the telethon so you can watch it anytime you want, and it's there. The old telethons are even still there, thanks to Rob.
And Cheryl Channing did call in this morning, and she wanted to let everyone know that she enjoyed her time, but she had to get back to Broadway, so she is there. So if you're wondering who Cheryl is, just do it. Just look on hour 3
o'clock. All right. So with that being said, if you're here for the first time, we are a Science of Mind and Spirit Center. We practice this new thought philosophy that is called the Science of Mind and Spirit, but basically just is a philosophy. It is a religion and a way of life. It's a philosophy, and that it's based on the beliefs of the mystics and all the philosophers and amazing people from past and present who have given us wisdom and truth. And it's based in, it would be a religion because we believe in God. We believe in God, but God in us. We are God. So we are religions practice, finding God the way that they find God, and we know that we find God within us. And then a way of life means it's just, what did you say?
In the nature,
in the trees and everything. Yeah, and the way of life, it just means that we take what this is and we practice it. We practice living from our highest place as best as we can, because we know the power of our mind and the power of the law of cause and effect, that what we put out does truly come back to us. So when we can live from that highest place of knowing that we are love, and that everybody in front of us and behind us and beyond us is that love too, then life unfolds perfectly. Yes, that was a long...
That was a long what?
Hey,
you can never get too many words to describe what you do in this world. So once again, welcome everyone. And who is here for the very first time? Anyone? Well, what that means is that we're all here for the very first time, right? Because this moment is brand new. Brand new. But, what's that?
No, go ahead.
But there's also some people online I know for the very first time. They've discussed, it's a new group that has been for CSL Kauai called the Eavesdropping Society, and they are here every single Sunday checking us out, and we're going to say hello to them. But we know something about you that you may not know about yourself. Let's let them know first today.
You are magnificent.
And then if you take your hand, if you dare, and put it upon that heart that heart brain that, connects with the brain, connects with everything. And let's tell ourselves who we are. I am magnificent. Say it again.
I am magnificant.
Now whisper it from the soul. I am magnificent. Now look to your left, to your right. Look up, down. Tell somebody how magnificent they are. I know that Juan's magnificent back there, and I know David is magnificent back there.
Magnificent beings. Magnificent. Love your hair. All right.
And I know you two are magnificent.
Jeremy and Amy are magnificent, and they have an opening song for us. Hopefully we can sing along.
Well, all I need is just a little sun. Some for me, some for everyone. And all I need is a little air. Some for me, some for everywhere. A little bit of love. A little bit of love.
All I need is some water to drink. A quiet place where I can sit and think. And if I find me a pot of gold, I'll never forget about the rainbow.
Little bit of love. Just a little bit of love. Just a little bit of love. A little bit of love. But really what I'm trying to say is I need you. And you and you and you. And every little bit of love you give me too. Tell us about it, Revs.
Well, I'm going to tell you that taking a little bit of your love, taking a little bit of their love, and we're going to make a whole bunch of love, are we not? So let's take that vibrational frequency that is love, that moves everything, that is vibrating through my body temple and vibrating through each and every one of our temples to just have such a sacred space that we are creating right here, right now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, right here, right now. So I just take that incredible energy and I allow it to infuse through this place and not just keep it here, but let it expand out off this beautiful island to the mainland, to the beautiful, beautiful people watching today as we live stream, or shall we call it love stream, our way out into this incredible, incredible experience called life. I am so grateful that we have come here today to remember who and what we are. Who and what we are, and that is good, that is God. You can call it whatever you want, but we are everything, as everything, and nature and beyond. So let's have some fun today. Let's celebrate who we are. Let's celebrate this power that we possess in every single moment. Let's celebrate this thing called life. And I just let that be, and I release it to a law that always says what? Yes, yes. And so it is.
Now we are thankful for those helpful funds, abundant flow, so we keep keeping on. And when you give, it's gonna gratify. Collective wings so everyone can fly. Little bit of love. You guys sing along? A little bit of love. Sing it again. Just a little bit of love. Keep it going. Little bit of love. One more time. Just a little bit of love. Love. Just a little bit of love. Just a little bit of love. Little bit of love. Just a little bit of love.
Perfect.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
you.
Welcome, everyone. And before we get started, hello. I noticed some shells in the front row. And so we just want to remind you of who you are, since you don't mind, do you? If we oh no. Okay, let me just a few things about you.
What you gonna say?
Well, yeah. I know it all. Ready? Ready? You are magnificent. There you
She
go.
already knew that.
You can breathe now.
Okay. So not that it was enough to have a telethon, we also have new members Sunday.
And potluck.
And a potluck, yeah. So, lots of busyness today and beautifulness. So we want to invite Reverend Diane to come on up. And we're going to do our song, Faith to God. And you can play softly in the background first.
She always brings her fan
Until
club.
we sing, until I call the names off. So we have a few new members. I'm going to let you read the names. Are you good at reading names?
No, you are.
Okay, well then you get the books and the flowers. Diane can have the flowers, Reverend Diane. Problem is we
You
don't
take
have
the
anything
flowers,
to
I'll
wrap
take
them
the
in.
book.
So shake them out on the floor.
You don't mind if we just put things together for you while we're
So I'm starting to give away my Science of Mind book called the thing called treatment. So new members can learn more about spiritual mind treatment, which is what we teach here as our modality of healing.
And it matches
So-
your dress. How nice is that?
Oh, that's great.
It's very Cheryl,
All
right?
right. So first person we'd like to invite up here, and I don't think he's here, is Juan.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, Juan. I didn't see you.
There's
Juan Tamayo.
Juan.
Come on up.
Juan who stayed with us all day yesterday, too.
Let me get this
Mahalo.
out of the way. We don't need this, right? Here, Juan.
And then you'll start your row over here. There you go.
I get, yes, we all get hugs. Okay.
I'll take that over. There you go.
Michael Rollins.
Michael.
Welcome.
Wow, that's like. This is new member day, just so you'll know. There you go. But there's nothing new about you, Michael. We know you. There you go.
Zenith Rollins, our youngest
Zenith,
member
our youngest one so far.
ever.
Welcome.
Sweetheart.
Have you seen Cheryl?
Christina Rollins, Mama. Mama Bear.
Yes, there she is. They came and helped us all day yesterday too, and Zenith was our sign man with the donate. Hello, buddy.
And then I have,
There you go.
where are they?
Right there.
Gina. Yeah, Gina Salcido.
Yeah. I know.
I know. Well, just come on up again.
I know, but
I don't know how that
but
happens.
We want to see you cry again.
And
Hey, you never can be new.
Lou. Oh, yeah, you look gorgeous. And Patricia Montgomery.
There you go.
Where are you? There you
There you
are.
go. I'm giving hugs. Are you kidding? There you go.
And that's what I have right now. You look gorgeous. All right. Oh,
I love beautiful.
thank
lady.
you. What this means is that
There you
these
go.
people, these beautiful beings of light and love, have just committed themselves to their own spiritual growth. They've said, I want to be part of Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. I want to support its growth. And I'm looking at each and every one of these people, and they already do that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're just going to sing a song to you now, all right? Reverend Diane.
This is the one. This is the one.
You,
Watch what happens.
I can't. Face of God, I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You get to do it again. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You guys look gorgeous. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Now everyone can sing to them. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Just one more time. You are the face of God. I I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Thank you. Let's give it up for our new members. Yay. Yay. Welcome.
You didn't let me down. That's good.
They had to be baptized twice. It's okay. Thank you, Reverend Diane. We probably shouldn't put it there. We don't want to disturb Kiana's beautiful. Okay, so, all right. So continuing, thank you, everyone. Continuing this beautiful spirit, we're going to have Roseanne Jones, our practitioner of the day, come up and lead us in our affirmation and contemplation.
Who was with us all day, also answering phones. Very Jerry Lewis yesterday. She's exhausted. Very Jerry Lewis.
Okay. We would like to invite you to, after we say this affirmation, I'm going to say it once, and then if you'd like to join me in a couple of times of saying it, and then we're going to go into the silence for a couple of minutes. I am willing to give, and I graciously receive. I am willing to give, and I graciously receive. I am willing to give, and I am graciously receive. Enjoy your time. I am willing to give, and I graciously receive. This is the season of gratitude, but gratitude all starts in the heart. And every day, every moment is a time for gratitude. So right now, I am going to express my gratitude for the knowledge that there is this power in the universe, that it works in everything it's created. It works in every bit of beauty that we see. It works in every person right here and beyond and beyond. For that is its nature, that creative nature of that spirit we may call God or whatever we choose to call it. It is alive and working in and through each of us. And I am so grateful for this knowledge because I know that this is the power that can do anything and make miracles. And it is something we breathe in along with the air and we breathe out. So this is the power of healing. This is the power that, and the intelligence that knows all what to do to heal. Every cell of your body is part of that healing power of of God, of that Spirit, because it is working through each of us. In knowing it heals the body, it also heals relationships. And I know that power is working right here and right now for the healing of any hurts, any issues, any whatever. And it works through the power of love and acceptance. And sometimes that means just accepting and blessing and walking away. It may mean many different things to each person, but it is that same power, that creative force, and it also works through our abundance in our life. This is the time of year where we recognize the abundance of all good things, and knowing that the abundance of life is shown in the ocean and the sky and the insect world. It is life itself expressing. Everything is part of that expression of God. It's beautiful, and when our eyes open to that, it's pure wonderment of all the ways it is expressed in beautiful, beautiful ways. And I know that creative expression is in us to propel from us, for each of us has a way we want to express ourselves in a creative sense. Whatever it is, it may be in the arts, in musical arts, in whatever, in visual arts, but it may be just the creative way that we each say good morning to each other and recognize that we are each part of that family of God. We are saying hello and providing love for each and every person we meet. Oh, it's such a beautiful thing. Gratitude. I have oceans of gratitude for all of this good. So in saying this, I release my word into that law that always says yes, as we affirm together. And so it is.
Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for all that is. Give praise, give praise, give praise, give praise, give praise for all that is. There will never ever be another day just like this day, so let's give praise now. Aloha, 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 aloha for all that is. Say grace, say grace, say grace, say grace, say grace for all that is. There will never ever be another day just like this day, so let's give praise now. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah for all that is. Namaste, 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 namaste,
I just
That
love
is
that.
a beautiful song.
I smiled over at
Did you
Jeremy
write that?
'cause-
That's India Ivory.
Yeah,
She's got this beautiful healing album. All of the
Wow.
songs are
It's
Because
interesting.
that's the
gorgeous.
title of our talk today. I mean, Say Grace. I
But-
just went, I can count on you guys. You just bring it in.
I
don't
know,
you?
right? And also, it was Emma Curtis Hopkins, the healer of the 20th century, 1800s too, that always said to praise everything, to bless everything, no
Yeah.
matter what. And life turns that way when you do that. So thank you. You made me think of her.
Mm.
All right, so this
it's
is
time
our
for
time
In the
in the
Spotlight.
spotlight. And I believe we have one of our new members who has said she will come up. And
We all know Michael, but now.
we are going to know
Now come on
the
down.
genius, beautiful Christina Rollins. Hi.
So are you ready?
We won't. She needs a microphone.
She asked me if there was anything special I was going to ask her. And I said, I'll let you know.
She's on microphone 1.
Hello.
Yeah, in the spotlight.
Hi. It's different being up here.
I know, it's a different, look at him. It's a very different
Hello.
perspective, isn't it? So, you were fairly new to this teaching, is this correct as
Yes,
well? And
yes.
you've got your family, we have wonderful Zenith back there.
Yes.
So I was thinking when I was over here, having a child in this day and age is wonderful, but it is also probably something that you have as a guidance for this beautiful young man too. That do you find anything that thus far in this teaching that has helped you and Michael in raising your son?
Yeah, it's funny that you asked me this question because you did not prep me. So I had this beautiful story for this wonderful thing that I just experienced that
good.
is directly a result from this teaching, but I felt that it was too long. So
No,
I
go ahead.
actually decided that I wanted to talk about Zenith. So we had just recently, and about 4 months ago, we had a pretty significant financial setback happen to us. And instead of focusing on the lack, we decided to put our energy where you guys do every week here, inspiring energy, and focus on the beautiful abundance that is in our life and all the blessings. And so Michael and I both decided to start listening to Neville Goddard and Abraham Hicks, and we started bringing in daily affirmations for abundance and opportunity and prosperity and really worth. That was the big one that I came away with. And a couple weeks ago, just this epiphany happened to me. But the bigger thing is really more than my worth, that I've come to understand that I have everything that I need, that my desires and my needs are being met by myself. I am the source. That epiphany came down on me and just broke me open, really. I mean, it really did. I kind of felt akin to maybe being born again. So I kind of understand a little bit more of where that comes from. But beyond that, sharing this, because Michael and I both going through these lessons, every step of the way was Zenith coming with us. So he was listening to Abraham Hicks. He was listening to Neville Goddard. He wakes up every morning and listens to that as we do our affirmations. And, you know, he's a very shy child. You hear him up here, and he's just got maybe 1 or 2 words to say. But seeing his power, seeing him and his understanding that everything that he needs is something that he himself can manifest, and that his desires and his needs are important, and really that he's worthy. I'm seeing this every day in his, behavior, in what he brings home, and how he interacts with his fellow kids at school, and it's just really feels so amazing, because I came from a place where I did not have that affirmations, and I needed to actually dive deep into it as an adult. And just like, I encourage anybody who has a child, any family that wants to become a part of this teaching, Science of Mind, that it is such an empowering thing, both for us, but also for our children. So, as they grow
Yeah.
up.
Well, I think
That is so true.
to add on to that is not just for children, but for us all to become these incredible, we're mirrors. I mean, and breaking open is just wonderful because it just ignites being alive. But I think it's important to the kids, but also for one another. That while we're dealing with our stuff, that's what we mirror out to one another so that we can feel safe.
Yeah, it really showed me that the responsibility is within ourselves.
Right.
That nobody else is going to fulfill that for myself. If I have a desire, if I have a need, it's my responsibility to speak that, to think that, and to walk and act that. And I think that that's the biggest takeaway here.
And
So.
I thank you and appreciate you doing the work.
Thank you so
Because,
much. Yeah.
Yeah, when it's the hardest, like Dr. Holmes always says, when things look the worst, is the best time to do your work because it draws you in, right? So, and what happens too is it happens in mind first. So if you don't see the results right away, you shifted. And when you shift, it makes all the difference in the world, right? It takes everything like
I
off
was
your-
just given evidence of it.
Okay,
I asked
okay.
for evidence, and a big old plate of evidence was
Great.
dished up to me, and it just blew my mind. I'm
Yeah.
serious. This is no
Yes.
joke. These teachings
Yeah.
are just amazing.
it
So
works.
thank you so much
and
for the light.
plate goes both ways. So that's why I'm glad you were focusing on the abundance of your life, because that's what the plate's going to.
Right.
But if we had turned the other way, then another plate.
Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
law. It works.
No, thank you.
Thank
you for
you.
doing the work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Or doing the play, as it were.
Yeah, thank you. Wow. All right. That was beautiful. Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you to your whole family.
Yes.
Yay. So I believe these two songbirds have a song for us. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a song that Jeremy wrote. He was inspired. Every summer we go back to Washington State, where I'm from, and family comes from all over, and kids, I think there's 13 kids between my cousins and myself and my brother, and we all
Wow.
go to my mom's and just have this beautiful connecting time. And the song he wrote, my mom also has one of those digital picture frames, so the little glass square on the table is referring to her picture frames that has through the years from when they were babies to now our oldest are almost turning 19. So it's fun to see those memories. And take it away, babe.
You guys know about those little glass squares where that it'll just give you all the pictures you have on your phone and whatever devices are connected? We're on the same page here? Okay, cool. All right. Thanks for introducing the song so well, Amy.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Well, I was looking through that little glass square on the table. Memories passing by like pages on a book. Oysters on the fire, lost teeth and old family fables. The places we've been where we played all day in the sun. Got me thinking if I could reach through that square on the table. And if the people in there could reach on back through to me. What would I tell them of the years past if I was able? And what would they tell me through their younger eyes that I see? Remember to always live your best and always give love to the ones that you laugh and you cry with. And please, babe, roll with those changes. I'll tell you I'm sorry about the times that I had to shout, and I really meant it when I said I love you. So please, babe,
Please, babe.
please grant yourself grace. So when you're looking through that little glass square on the table. And memories pass on by. Grant yourself grace. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Kind of a debut of that one.
I know. I'm just saying we are so blessed to be able to witness your creations and have you share them with us, and to have like original music, right? That you're just writing and that creative spirit's coming through you and just having to express, and you do it so well, both of you. Thank you.
Grateful to share in the blessing.
Yeah, we love you. It's great. How long have you been with us? Like a while, right? At least. We were at the hotel, that's right. So it's been at least, wow, it's been at least 9 years. And wow. All right. You know, it's funny, when we came to the island, we just were like, we have to have live music. And I remember we were thinking that people would be pouring in to sing, you know, and it wasn't like that. But then right before we opened, well, we had one singer and then she left. But right after that, we were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We'll have to play tapes. No, we're going to have live music. And then Jeevan walked in. I remember him sitting in our living room at Princeville and saying, I'll play for you. And then you guys showed up, and Michael and Carrie and all these people, and then Kyle. I mean, we've always had beautiful live music. And I believe that that's the way spirit works. When you place a demand on the universe, like I've said before, it has to meet the demand once you make a decision. Yeah, which brings me to our topic today, which is called Say Grace. And yeah, say grace. I don't know about you, but when I was a little girl, I was brought up Catholic. And we actually did, it was called Say Grace before the meal. And somebody'd go, say grace. Usually it was my dad that said grace. But, you know, every once in a while I'd get called on to say it. And it went like this. It went, bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty, through Christ our Lord. Amen. I hear somebody talking with me. You know, it kind of gets into your system, and it's like, but to tell you the truth, when I went to say it today, I couldn't remember it. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but I was like, I had to look it up. But it's interesting because Emma Curtis Hopkins, I believe, is the one that said that. You know, everybody interprets everything the way they want to interpret it, and way that comes through them, and then we get to interpret too. So we can't say that there's one interpretation to anything. But Emma Curtis Hopkins, who is this healer from the 1900s and 1800s, said that if you replace the word law with Lord from the Bible, and she was a Bible reader, that you would understand that Lord was law. And if you look at that, bless us, O law, and these thy gifts. Bless us, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty. Law, bless us, O law. So I was thinking, yeah, that makes total sense. If you're just blessing the law within you for the gifts that you receive in every single solitary moment, and the bounty that you're about to receive, wow, that's really phenomenal to me. So I don't know about you, but we bless our food all the time. We just it's important to sit down and give thanks, because if you just, and at times I haven't done it, like I catch myself going, oh, I'm just going to eat this, then it's like a total different energy when you're eating. And if you bless your food, it's like your food can't disagree with you if you actually sit down and bless it. Or you wouldn't eat it if it didn't feel good to you, like you wouldn't eat it. But when you start to say, like your song, bless everything, and you sit down and you just take that moment to take and give thanks for what you're receiving and how it's working in your body and all of that, and the people you're with or whatever, however you do it, I think it's a great thing. Because when this was happening, when I was little, I just remember I wasn't really thinking those things. I was just learning a prayer and saying it by rote, you know. But when I started to learn, and when I was a Mormon, I learned how to pray from my heart more, because that's the way, you don't know if I was a Mormon, but I was for 10 years. I know you're probably wondering, how did that happen? But it did. But that's a talk in itself. But I remember they taught us to pray from our hearts. We never had recited prayers. We prayed from just praying, and everybody got to pray. So I learned that recited prayers were maybe better, not the best way for me to go, because when I recite something, then I get like into a rote feeling about it. And we never want to get that even with our spiritual mind treatments, right? Where they become rote to us, or we use the same words or whatever, that we let it just like, if our students are having trouble praying, we just say, you know what, just tap into spirit, because it'll come through you and you'll say exactly what needs to be said, just like I'm standing here right now. Every time I go on, I don't necessarily look at all my notes because I have quotes and things, but I just know that what I'm going to say in the moment is the most important thing I have to say, whatever that is. So I didn't plan to say all that I just said, but I said it anyway. Anyway, so say grace. So what is grace? This is a very good question. It's not an easy thing to define, and I'm sure it means a different thing to different people. And to me, grace means there is an energy, there is a universal force within us that's always there, and it's always taking care of us. And it's not something that we have to go get. It's not something that we have to be good for. It's not something that we have to be like good people to get or any of that. It's something that's always there. There's a song that we sing, I am held in the hands of grace, and it's like a mother protecting a child. It's always there. And the only issue is if we don't recognize it. So if we go through life and we're totally like caught up in the conditions of life, and I got to get this done and I got to get that done, or something happens and we're totally caught up in that, then we're not recognizing that grace is there to that we can fall back into it. If we're in some kind of tragic situation, where we're having some difficulty, or we've lost somebody or something like that, grace is there. And if we can fall into it, it supports us through anything and helps us through. Ernest Holmes wrote, grace is the givingness of the Spirit. That would be the Spirit within us, right? The force within us, the life within us, the love within us. It's the givingness of the Spirit to its creation. But he says it's not a special law, but a specialized one. So it's not special, but it's specialized. And he says, in other words, grace is, but we have to recognize it, which is what I just said, right? It's not something imposed on us, but is the logical result of correct acceptance of life and correct relationship to the Spirit. So it's always there, and it's so reassuring, because if you're going through something and you say grace is there, it's going to carry me through that. So if you're sitting at the edge of a doctor's table and you're getting ready to get some kind of diagnosis, and I've been in that spot, and you sit there and you go, grace is right here with me. All right, I'm going to breathe into that, and I know whatever is happening, that grace, that love, that energy, that source is going to carry me through this, no matter what. And you walk through it, and the right things show up, and the right people show up, and the right medicines show up, and the right doctors show up, and it just flows. But when we get clogged, like if we tighten down and get scared and all of that, or feed into like the fear surrounding whatever the situation is, then it can't work through us. So that's what grace is to me. And he says, we are saved by grace to the extent we believe in, accept, and seek to embody the law of good. The law of good, which means it's just saying that the law is good. It's saying yes to us, and we accept it. And it's saying yes to whatever we're thinking, whatever we're seeking, whatever we're requiring. Christina said, it's saying yes. It's a law for good. It's not a law for evil or, bad things happening to us. It's a law of good, and it's always working through us, as long as we can accept it as that. If we accept it as something different, then it's going to show up as something different. Am I making sense? I want to make sure, because it's almost like I'm teaching a class right now. We are saved by grace to the extent we believe and accept and seek to embody the law of good, for the law of good is ever a law of liberty and never one of limitation. So it's a law of liberty. It's free to everyone. It's not unlimited. It's just, it's there. And it's how much of it can we use? How much of it can we embody? How much of it can we live from? How much of it can we allow to move through us so that we can, deal, because we deal with a lot in the world of conditions. And just moving a house, it's like really interesting, because you realize, like right now, it's interesting because my emotions are in my new home, and it feels like I've let go of this home and I'm just moving matter around. So Sue and Stream came to help me move my pots to the new house. And it's just like moving matter is like really hard, right? It's hard. So you got to be counting on something to show up, right? So there Sue Buckley shows up and Stream shows up to help me. And Glenn Head actually showed up. That was actually a surprise. I wasn't expecting him. And he's like, oh, guess what? Because when you say you're going to do something and you make a decision to do it, stuff shows up. It just shows up. If you're decided and you say, yes, I have to do this right now, I have to require it, that's grace to me. That's grace showing up. It's just, it's there for us as long as we embody it, right? So, yeah, so freedom is a divine reality. So we're divine, we're free to use this law or not use it. But, we have to believe that it works. Like I think a lot of times when things aren't working out in our life, we're really not trusting that law of our being, that energy. And what is it? What draws it to us is our feelings. You could think your head through, a lot of stuff, but until you feel it here and allow that feeling to go out, the feeling is what's going to draw it back to you. So, and the hard part of it is that you got to be able to do it when it's not happening. Like when it's first, like Christina was talking about, she's going through a financial crisis, but she's affirming abundance and she's living that way, living from there and feeling that before it could ever come back to us, because that's the way it works. It's such a simple science. It is scientific. We know it's scientific. We know it works. All the different people, coaches and people in the world right now are using this. Dr. Dispenza is using it. Greg Braden, all these people that are, Bruce Lipton, they're all using it because they know that's the truth. It's scientific. So we can use it in our own lives, and we need, we can use it. Well, we're always using it, no matter what. And that's the other thing we have to believe. We're always using it. So if whatever your life is like right now, you're using the law. You're either using it unconsciously or you're using it destructively, only in that you're talking bad things to yourself or not feeling deserving. I think you said something about deserving, Christina, and not supporting yourself and not, I loved what Reverend Diane said yesterday in her talk on the telethon, I give to myself first. We have to, because if we don't give to ourselves first, who's going to be there to give to others, right? So, yeah. So, the way this showed up for me, and then I'm gonna be, oh, he went somewhere. Probably had to go to the restroom, but I hope he's not turning into Cheryl. Oh no, maybe anything could happen. No, that would take him a long time. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to our 3 o'clock on the telethon. Okay, so this telethon was a perfect example of grace because, it's not easy. Melissa Mojo did this telethon 2 years in a row and spearheaded it, and Patrick and I decided to do it this year. And you could turn into crazy. You could turn into crazy doing something like this because so many pieces have to come together to make it work, right? But that's not what happened. We were centered in, yes, we're going to have this amazing telethon. It's going to be calm. It's going to be easy. It's going to be graceful. It's going to be fun. That was the most important thing to us, is that it was fun. And I know, and people worked really hard. I'm not saying that Jonathan and Rob and everybody, that Ron Stover, everybody that put it together didn't work hard. They worked hard, but there's a different energy behind it. Even Peggy and Roseanne that were doing the phones and everything in there, they said they felt calm. They felt, that's grace to me. When you make a decision and then you walk with it, everybody shows up to make sure it happens. There he is. Thank God he's still Patrick. I'm only teasing. No, it's okay. I looked over to say something to you when you weren't there. But everybody shows up to make sure whatever it is that you're doing or wanting to have done. And I know everybody in this room that's done projects. I'm looking at them right down over there, Kamala and Amelia and all of that. That took a lot of work, but they made a decision. And because they made that decision, everything showed up to support them in that beautiful decision that they made with their daughters. So it just works. And are we willing to work it? That's the question I have. Are we willing to take the time to practice it? Because it doesn't just happen by sitting there thinking about it. It's diligent, living a spiritual life, living from within, and dealing with the earthly plane, and in a spiritual way, from a spiritual sense, it's work, but it's good work. Like Ernest Holmes says, it should be a lively, beautiful, amazing adventure. It shouldn't be drudgery. It shouldn't be, anything but that. So just know that, and I'm going to know it too as I continue this move and everything that's happening till the end of the year. I'm just going to know that grace is here for me, and it's working through me, and that our life can be flowing with ease and grace. We say that in our treatments. It can be flowing with ease and grace if we allow ourselves to open up and get our little egos out of the way and our finite minds to what we think we can accomplish, and just allow ourselves to flow with our true self, which is spirit, which is life, which is love. So thank you. Namaste. Yay.
We're going to do another original song that Jeremy wrote. This one's called Simple Things.
There's a home spirit.
He wrote this one about the Northwest as well. The cedar trees were speaking to him, and this came through.
Simple things, simple things, like a walk in the shine of the moon. Simple things, like the wind and the rain harmonize in a tune. Simple things, simple things. It's the simple things. It's a bridge from the old to the new. It's the melodies, colors in bloom. So when everything's closing on you, it's the simple things. It's the simple things. Simple things. Simple things. You don't need any more than a few. Simple things. Simple things. Like the rise and the fall of the moon. A smiling face, a warm embrace, the feel of love and what's true. The simple things, the simple things. It's the simple things. It's a bridge from the old to the new. It's the melodies, colors in bloom. So when everything's closing on you, it's the simple things. It's the simple things. Simple things, simple things are a fountain of gold, never dry. And you can see the colors meet through the sun and the rain in the sky. So never go on your day without giving simple a try. Simple things, simple things. You know the words now already? It's the simple things, yeah. It's a bridge from the old to the new. It's the melody's colors in bloom. So when everything's closing on you, it's the simple things. It's the simple things. Mahalo. It's just simple things.
Oh, I was over there taking that song in. I just was like, oh, it is simple. Stop making it hard. But today, I looked over at Rita, I said, isn't exhaustion wonderful? It's so peaceful. It's so, wow. Yeah, so there's a great, we were also saying there's a great energy in the room today. It's just kind of a landed energy, if you can feel that. There's just, wow. So I was thinking of this whole idea. I actually looked up the definition of grace, and I found something very, very funny, because I'm not going to go towards what religion it was or what faith-based it was, but this is very funny. Grace is a free gift. And I went, yeah, it is. There is nothing we can do to earn it. And I went, now we're talking. And then comes the wonderful but. But neither do we receive it automatically. And so I was like vibrating, and then all of a sudden it started going down. But neither do we receive it automatically. There are conditions to receiving God's grace. And I went, simple things, simple things. And this is the three things. Have faith. I was like, okay, I'll be with you on that one, because we live that. Be humble, not my favorite word. Only because it puts out something else for me. But it can mean something else to the individual that says, I'm just allowing, surrendering. But to me, it just means, it doesn't mean a lot to me. But then 3 was the whopper that made me go, next. Confess our sins and be forgiven. So then I went, wow. So we start out with interpretation, right? Grace is free. That we don't have to do anything to deserve that. That's about where we stop. Because I don't go over there. And it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. Believe what you need to believe. But it does not, because of who and what we are, is why it's a free gift. Because we are already instilled with grace when we arrive, so that we can protect ourselves. And one thing that really comes up is this idea of responsibility versus blame. Being responsible is the most powerful tool we have in our life. To be responsible. That's not being responsible for the world, being responsible for my neighbors, being responsible for Rita's feelings. It doesn't mean any of that. It means that when something comes up like finances or a diagnosis, then we can go, I have a responsibility to choose what I want to choose here. And what that does is it releases us from victimhood. Anybody ever been to that island? It does. And sometimes we fall into it accidentally, don't we? I'm not going to be a victim. I'm thinking, but that's the reaction that we're having right now, the victimhood. And why we want to get rid of victimhood is because we can't have our power there. It doesn't mean that people are not victimized or things happen to them. It doesn't mean that. It just means that when it does happen to you, pause. That's my new word for Patrick, by the way. Pause. Sometimes Patrick, doesn't pause. And I always know it if, like, Rita says, now, before you say anything, I go, oh, so she's expecting a non-pause moment. And then I had to take a look at that. Let's get real. If you're going to do it, let's get real with it. I do that sometimes. I got this great idea. Oh, no, it's not going to. They haven't finished. And I've already went, no, it's called bursting a balloon. Be careful how we talk to one another. Pause, right? Because then you start giving your opinions, and then it goes into it, and then it makes somebody could be, that feeling of when you're like, God, I feel good today. And you walk in, you go, hey, how you doing? God, you look tired. Is everything okay? I was feeling exhilarated, but yeah, do you know that feeling? So I'm really at that place of really being careful, and especially about things that are happening in your life. If things that are happening in your life, and it's a reflection of not just you, it's the collective consciousness, it's everything, but there is a reflection going on there. Because I always say when things are happening to me, why is it happening to me? Because it's not happening to them. Well, it must belong to me for a moment, for me to learn from it, for me to get in there and go, what's going on really? That questioning that I do a lot, what's really going on? I want to talk a little bit about, for a moment, Cheryl Channing. That happened yesterday. If you are new and you do not know what we're talking about, there's nothing worse than being in a room and people saying these little things and you're going, what are they talking about? Who's Cheryl? So what I wanted to say yesterday, I had the opportunity to, as I do every year, give a surprise reverend thing. The first year, I put on the CSL Kauai dress and came up with Sabra. She was here, and it was just that. It was Patrick. Ha, 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 ha. And I said, I'll put it on for $1,000, and somebody gave me $1,000. I'm thinking I might be in the wrong business, but that's a whole nother story. I'm not even going to head there. But anyway, so the second year, I peeled some weight off and got back into Spidey's suit. And that was like very cool. And I appeared as Spidey. So this year, what happened is we went to the YWCA or the Pride people, or anyway, it was a drag show, right? And we wanted them to come here and be a part, because they're very big on the island. Who knew? This looks like small compared to if they're going to do a show over there. The whole place is packed. People you never even believe are there, right? And you're going, wow, that's pretty cool. So we wanted them to come here, and it didn't work out, and we went into victim. I don't know why they're not going to show up. Feel the great energy there. So I said, well, I don't believe in no, so what somebody else won't do, I'll do it myself. And so if you missed it, you really shouldn't have. But I'm going to tell you what's going on with this story, because I woke up with it this morning, and still with the little eyeliner on, and toes still are a little pink from the, because I don't do anything halfway. If I'm going there, I'm going all the way. So I'm not having shoes without polish. So anyway, what I learned about this experience is that people have there's a lot of opinions energetically around that, about a man dressing as a woman. You can feel it. Nobody needs to say anything. You know it's there. And what that did was that vulnerably set me to look at something. And I had been blessed to hear on NPR a interview with the guy who does Kinky Boots on Broadway, and he plays a drag queen. And I went, well, first of all, before anybody thinks I'm making an announcement, that's not what's happening today. What's happening is, because all I got to say is I was back there in makeup for about an hour, and if I had to do that every day, that would never, ever, ever happen. That's too much work. It's too much work being a woman. Anyway, So he was on Kinky Boots and he was talking about it, and he said, you know, the interesting thing about it is men think they can dress up, you know, as women and just, you know, walk out there and ha, more like a clown. And I went, oh, wow, clown. He goes, when I come out and I'm on the show, that's real. That's a real character right there. That's real. And I come from an acting background, and my acting teachers would floor you if you were not committed to your character. If you weren't committed, and this is universal what I'm talking here, being committed, not just putting it on and going, hey, you know. And he said there's a difference between being laughed at and being laughed with. And yesterday, for the most part, I was laughed with. And it makes me very emotional, not because I remembered that defiant, beautiful man talking on that show, and I knew I was doing this, and I went, there's not a way in hell I'm going to go out and be a clown. If I'm going to be Cheryl, I'm going to be Cheryl. I'm going to own Cheryl, and I'm walking out, and I'm going to own, not just because I'm in a dress and, oh, great makeup, by the way. Jamie Prem, if you're watching, girl, because this woman right here, don't ever have her do your makeup, ever. I looked like I was an abuse victim. I had so many, because we did a trial run the night before, and Rita's going, okay, let's go. And I looked in the mirror and I went, I looked like Baby Jane from Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. It was so frightening. It was frightening. And so I said, the universe has to come in and do something now. And so Jamie came in, and I knew it, because I've been in acting, so I know how long it takes. And she's going, what are we going to do here? I went, oh my God, an artist is with me. You know, she's doing everything, and she did. And so while that was happening, I went, please, there are people that believe and feel this way. Don't make fun of it. Be it. Be confident enough as a man, be confident enough as a being, spiritual being, to own it. And I went, oh my God. So when the heels were a little high, and I admired, thank you, Christina, who says, you know, wow, I can't even walk that good in them. You know, and so and this is very metaphysical, as it was starting to come, little bit by bit, she was taking pictures. And I would look in the mirror and I would think, who are you? And then that happened. Then the big lashes, I went, wow. And I just started embodying it for a moment, to the point that it kind of, for a moment, scared me, because it was such a commitment. Not a commitment to being a drag queen or anything else, a commitment to saying, I'm going to go out and I'm not going to make fun of this, because people live this. And I went, this was an honor for me to be able to do this and do it authentically and do it vulnerably. And so I went, wow, this is why I ended up doing that. It wasn't just because I wanted to raise money, which it was the highest volume of people on the line, but at the time. But it wasn't just that. It was the fact of hearing that man say, "I will not be laughed at. I will be laughed with." So when I was going, and we listened to it last night, and I didn't watch it. I just listened to it, and Rita was playing it for me. And Rita said, she looked over and she said, "I am so proud of you. Not because I dressed up in girls' clothes. I honor you because you dressed and you became that for 15 minutes of your life, and you gave that authenticity to us." And I went, wow, who knew? Now, I admit that my acting background does help too, and that, but it went beyond that. So I had this whole other idea about this talk, but I'm not going to even play with Grace. I think we already know that Grace is a gift. And that Cheryl was a gift for me. And whether it was a gift for anyone else, and if it stirred emotions, there's a couple of people I spoke with, that it stirred emotions with and stirred something up for you, that's an opportunity now to take a look at yourself, because that's all it is. If that's offensive to someone, then I don't need to look at myself in the mirror. You do. And it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means there's something inside of me, whether it be a drag queen or anything else in life, whatever you're doing that I don't approve of, that you have to take an opportunity to say, until you walk literally in the shoes of someone else, then I don't have anything to say or make any comment about anyone until I've been through it and walked in their shoes. So I do want to say one thing. I take it off to women of the world. Not easy, man. It's not easy getting up. Those things are high, man. Those things are high. But my calves, they're looking really good these days. And I'll tell you how dedicated I was. Rita was doing class with all you improvers. Patrick was in there doing dishes and unloading the dishwasher with his little pumps on. And I was walking around, and my cat was looking at me like, what the hell has happened to Patrick? You know, yeah. And I can't hide it because it's everywhere now. And so I showed it in one of our wonderful colleagues in California, because I put on, you can still donate, you can still do it. And I put on the picture of her, and she wrote back, she goes, you are very confident with your masculinity, aren't you? And I went, I don't know how to take that, because, you know, it's like they're not in front of you. So I'm going to leave you with Fernando Pessoa. I read this today. They said that it was from, it's longer, but I took the small part. I think this is something that we can all take into Thanksgiving. It was supposedly from Pope Francis, but you know how those investigators get on it and go, liar, liar, liar. And so it was really, so I looked it up, and it was Fernando who wrote it and not the Pope. But it's okay. I don't really care who writes things as long as the message is clear. So let's just take this in. Just take a breath. It's not that long, but I just want you to because it says something about being happy and experiencing life. May your life become a garden of opportunities for happiness. That in spring, may it be a lover of joy. In winter, a lover of wisdom. And when you make a mistake, start all over again. For only then will you believe and be in love with life. You will find that to be happy is not to have a perfect life. I love this. But use the tears to irrigate tolerance. Use your losses to train patience. Use your mistakes to sculpture serenity. Use pain to plaster in pleasure. Use obstacles to open the windows of intelligence. Never give up. Never give up on the people who love you, and never give up on happiness, for life is an incredible show. And show it is. Namaste.
It's on there for eternity. It's on there for eternity.
And Rita said something beautiful about that. She said, you know what? Because when I was growing up, I looked so much like my mom. I look like my mom for anybody. But she said, she goes, and it was wonderful. Rita looked like she was looking at somebody new. She goes, and you don't look like your mother.
You didn't.
She said I was pretty. No.
Well, not that your mother's not pretty, but you were pretty.
Or whatever.
No, that was the shock. I went, no, not the shock. Sometimes when men dress up as women, they're not always pretty, right? But I was just like, Jamie was a great makeup artist. She did.
And I want to just thank, looking at Marion. Marion, you took some wonderful shots.
Oh yeah, Marion's shots are on Facebook on Patrick's page.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Okay, enough about me.
All right, enough is enough. So this is our time of giving during our celebration here, and We're so grateful for donations that, 10 years, guys, we're moving into 10 years, and this is fully supported by donations. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you give. And I think we have a beautiful song to sing, Sacred. Oh, good. I love this one.
Oh.
This is our old original.
Blessed am
My spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Bum, bum, bum. Blessed am I, spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Blessed am I, spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am. Bum, bum. Blessed am I, spirit am I am the infinite within my soul. I have no beginning and I have no end. All this I am.
Take it away, Roseanne.
Practicing gratitude is not just for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It really is a practice every day, every moment, and this is that weekly practice that we do. Thank you, mahalo, from the bottom of our hearts, and knowing that this goes forth into CSL and back out again. It is the flow, and it's all about that. So with gratitude, we all thank you. Aloha.
All right.
right, where's the
Are
children?
the children here? Are they here, Giorgio?
I saw him.
Yes? No? I know we have children too.
Yeah.
They're coming? All right. Well, we can start our announcements before they get here.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll start with the Thanksgiving announcement. Is Ron Stover back there?
No, he'll be back in a minute.
I don't know if he has any directions for us, but maybe Angela will know.
Angela's got it down.
You got
Just-
it down?
yeah,
Is
just-
something I should tell them? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so
great.
give them a couple of minutes to set up when we're done, and then they'll be ready, all right? So don't go rushing over there until they've got it all set.
Right.
And here come the kids, so let's, here comes Miss Loya with the youth. Oh my gosh, she had quite a handful today.
Yes, there we go.
Some little beautiful beings and Zenith. Let's get the
Look at
microphone. Wow, looks like they were busy.
There's Mommy. She's right there. Hi.
Hi, honey.
How are you?
What? Oh, you're gonna.
Oh.
Boy, she's
And
anxious.
I'm grateful for my mommy.
Oh.
And look what she drew.
Oh, for your mommy? Oh.
Thank you. What's your name? What-
And then this is a flower that she painted,
Whoop.
and a pumpkin.
For
What's your
Thanksgiving?
name?
What's your name?
Emerald.
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 Wow,
Pretty.
that's a powerful name, Emerald.
And
Wow.
There's you. What you?
And you show this one too. Okay, you come and show yours.
She goes, I'm going to Mommy. I'll be
Okay,
right.
where's Mom?
Here,
Oh,
Mommy.
I
Oh.
love it. And Zenith?
She actually went more up here this time. Last time she went directly to you, so that was good.
Okay. And Zena.
I am grateful for my mom, my dad, and my pets.
Oh.
Pets. And what ones? What's their names?
Peru and Sugarloo.
Woo.
Hey.
Show your picture.
She's back. Oh, she loves Miss Loya. Show the picture.
The other
Yay.
side. The other side.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Anything else, Zena? And I'm so grateful for being part of CSL Kauai and being the teacher for the third Sunday of each month for the youth.
Oh, and we are
Yay.
grateful for you.
We're grateful for
thank
you.
you.
You know we
We
came
are developing. We have a beautiful.
Woo! A member for Zena.
Yeah, let's give them their
Yeah.
affirmation.
You ready?
Their blessing. You ready?
Okay.
We're going to tell you something about yourself. You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you.
Yay!
I love it. That's perfect.
Why do I feel like I'm going to start a song? What is that song?
He's trying. We need to get these.
Okay,
Sunday
so-
party in
so-
the country.
I feel like our youth center is starting to really blossom right now. And I'm really grateful to Janice and to Leslie and to Loya and whoever shows up to take care of our youth. And you can see how
We have a
important it
good-
is. Christina was letting us know how it's helped Zenith and her family. So, yes, we need to call in the youth.
And a lot of gratitude to you, Janice, Miss Janice, being all this time with going through, and now she has some assistance, which is wonderful because it's been a long time since the beginning.
Janice has been with us since the
and
beginning.
Rhea's here
Yeah.
too. Remember?
Oh, and Rhea, yeah, that's true.
That's right.
Okay, so just a couple of things because I know it's getting late and people are getting hungry. Spiritual Cinema is on the 25th Friday. Is
And
it
it's
the
the-
25th?
yes,
Yeah.
it-
And we're showing The Holiday. It's a romantic, beautiful movie, a Christmas movie. And and Charles
It's the top
Wolford.
25 in Christmas showings. The first time we showed it was 7 years ago. We've only shown something twice, and this is going to be it.
Yeah,
And
it's
this
with-
place was packed. I was shocked. I went, Holiday? What movie is that? And everybody was like, I love The Holiday. I was like, wow. Okay.
So that'll be on the 25th. And then we're having a Sacred Healing Circle on the 29th. This doesn't seem right. This 25th and 29th. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. The movie's always the last Friday
It's
of the
correct.
month. It's correct, okay. The movie's always the last Friday of the month, and then the Healing Circle is always the last Tuesday of the month. So it's on the 29th at 6:30. And I'm going to do something a little different. We will have music, live music, but I'm also going to do a sound bath meditation. So with these bowls. So if you have never
Right.
been to the Healing Circle, come for that.
No
And
Wisdom Wednesday.
There's
this
no Wisdom
Wednesday.
Wednesday because of Thanksgiving, because everybody's, well, not everybody, but the people that are running it are home cooking. And Patrick and I won't be here. So, and then, of course, my book is always for sale. What do I need to know? And I'm also going to be doing a workshop in December, December 13th, that I did in Los Angeles. That was really powerful, and I've gotten so much feedback that I've decided to continue. It's called The Inner Blogger, and it'll be a one-nighter. On Tuesday, December 13th. I'll have a flyer soon, but I don't have one right now.
And for those
Yeah.
of you in Reverend Diane's class, this is the last Tuesday. I mean, not to come, but your people, if they're here, just make sure it's not canceled. It's actually happening this week. And I think that's
right
it.
now.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're good.
we're good.
Thank you
You
for
good?
coming. Thank you for everything. Let's close out.
Have a great Thanksgiving week, too, right? Uh-oh.
Do what you love.
I love
Be
this song.
part of the solution.
Oh.
Do what you love. Be part of the solution. And you will be supported.
You look
Your
good.
truth will come to you. And you will be supported.
If I can do Cheryl, you can do that.
Your truth will come to you. Speak it, Rita.
Rita.
All right. So I do want to give gratitude. I want to first give gratitude for Ron Stover, especially because I know he was cooking those turkeys late last night and after doing the telethon all day. So if you see him, just give him a hug and tell him you love him. He's amazing. So I am so grateful for the food that's being presented here that we all share together here, knowing that it's blessed, that it nourishes and strengthens us, and we are just perfectly moving with that amazing energy of gratitude for the rest of our time here. And I give great thanks for these people to help today. Leslie David, Michael Rowlands on the Malama team, Roseanne Jones as our practitioner, Rob Jones back there on video, Jonathan Lee as sound director, Giorgio DePaz as the amazing assistant to Rob. I don't know where he is right now, but he's here somewhere. Jeremy and Amy Brown, musicians today. Mama, thank you. Loya Whitmer for her beautiful, amazing work with the children. And in the bookstore, we have Peggy and Roseanne, always there, willing to sell our books. And inspire people. And Kiana Ka'aunui, thank you so much for the beautiful flowers. I don't know where you are, but you just never stop giving those flowers. And yes, Kiana's back there with Sue Buckley counting our beautiful bounty, and Angela Phillips, of course, working behind the scenes all the time. I am so grateful for us here today. And I just give this blessing and just know that we go out into the world after this delicious meal and share all the joy. Share all the joy. And so it is. And we're part of the solution.
We are.
Do what you love. Be part of the solution.
You gotta do it.
Do what you love.
Do what you love.
Be part of the solution.
You gotta sing about it.
And you will be supported.
Yeah, you gotta do your thing, yeah.
Your truth will come to you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you will be supported. Your truth will come to you.
Everybody, aloha to everybody online. Thank you for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holiday season. It's here. Woo!